Alright, welcome back to 22.2 homework. You will be expected to do questions 1 through 4 and number 7 from your textbook, so make sure you're doing that. For 22.2, they give us a set of data to look at, and it says the line plot shows a random sample of resting heart rates of 24 adults. They want us to find the mean, median, standard deviation, and IQR. Okay, so we can go ahead and do that again using one of our online resources. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So again, what I'm going to do is see about Googling again, mean, median, IQR, standard deviation calculator, and the first thing that pops up is this one. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And let's go ahead and put in some of our values. So as you can see here, you're like, what values will I put in? Well, there's 155 here, because there's one X there on the 55. I'm going to put a comma and put in 260 since there's two X's on the 60. I'll also put in 1, 2, 3, 4 65s. And go ahead and do the same thing for each of the columns, putting in about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 70s. Take some time right now and enter all those values in. Once you do, go ahead and click Submit Data. Pause here, put those numbers in, practice, okay? And I'll show you what the data shows. So after entering all those values, and yes, it did take some time, I was able to find my mean, which is about 72, the median, which is about 70, as well as a standard deviation, which is about 8.4, as well as the interquartile range, that's the IQR. Okay, so it's a really nifty tool to kind of calculate all that out. For part B, it asks us, by examining the line plot, determine the percent of data that are within one standard deviation from the mean. So remember, we talked about this and about how so this one's actually looking at the line plot. So one standard deviation, well, let's calculate that out. And remember our mean, so our mean, that's our mean. That's a symbol for mean, by the way. It's about 72. Our standard deviation was about 8.4. So what we can do is we can actually add 8.4 to 72. And of course subtract 8.4 from 72 so we can kind of know our range. So go ahead and simplify that out for both, okay? And go ahead and count to see how many values actually lie. So how many values lie between these two numbers out of the 24 values. Once you kind of do that, we can then make that into a percent. Okay, so take some time to do that. And then the last one says, suppose one of the heart rates is chosen at random by examining the line plot. So we're not examining the actual box and whisker plot, it's the line plot. Determine the probability that it's more than one standard deviation. So remember, our mean was about 72. Our standard deviation was about 8.4. So we're going to look for all values that are greater than, 72 plus 8.4. So go ahead and count how many values lie or are, I should say, are greater than 72 plus 8.4 out of the total 24. All right, and then again, let's change that to a percent. We'll come back with the next video, so stay tuned.